Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. I'd like to say welcome. It's a beautiful time here again from the city of Abuja, joining you live. I like you are. My name is Shadrach, and today's session is very, very interesting. So, in the year 2024, December precisely, I got a leading to start a growth series in the year 2025 for business owners, entrepreneurs, people looking to migrate from their 9 to 5 to start a business that's becoming an entrepreneur. And so far, it's been great. Unemployed people, people that are looking to wanting to combine even both. And we came up with the leading of the Holy Spirit. We came up with different teams for the entire year. Month on month, we are going to be having different sessions with different teams that were carefully selected to ensure that we all become better versions of ourselves by the year ending 2025. So last month we spoke to the team called Scale with Systems, where we were able to see how we can create systems and structures in place to ensure that our businesses, our processes are very optimal for overall growth. Now, this month, which is the month of April, we're going to be looking at the topic called Evolve or Stagnate, where we'll be speaking to strategies to break stagnation and elevate your business and career. All right. So, welcome once again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, welcome. We'll be looking at how we can evolve and not stay stagnated. All right. How we can evolve and not stay stagnated. Now, my story, background story, I am a big city talent with a small town attitude that I can always, sometimes you could find me always in my childly element, but deep down, there's a humongous set of talent inside of me that is waiting to be launched out into the world bit by bit. And so far, I've had over a decade year of experience working with several brands, multinational level, Pan African, global, and all of that. I've worked with different brands. I'm currently a senior consultant where I work with a management consulting company here in the city of Abuja. Basically, I'm a technologist and a strategist. Okay, so that's just a summary about me, and I will be your host for today's session. By the grace of God, in our subsequent sessions, we'll be having other facilitators that will join us. So, once again, I'd like to say welcome. So now what we'll be learning today, we'll be speaking to why businesses and careers stagnate, spotting signs of stagnation early, mindset shift for growth, the evolve framework for success, business and personal growth strategies for 2025, and case study, actionable steps for the next 30 days, tools and resources you can start using immediately. Of course, if you have questions, super happy for you to drop them in the chat box. Thank you. All right, so moving on. Why this topic matters? It matters because a lot of times we realize that at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, we have humongous goals for the year that we want to achieve. By the end of Q1, we're already stagnating. We're already not sure. We're already having that doubt feeling of what is going to be, or if I'm making progress or not. We're not able to track our progress level. We're not even seeing any form of clarity. Maybe slow growth can be responsible rather for why this topic matters. People just tend to have a plateau in their growth. And that's why it's important. They are overwhelmed by change. A lot of things are happening simultaneously. They're not even able to take control of what is supposed to matter to them, right? And now, about stagnation. I like it for you to know for a fact that stagnation is not failure. It's just a point where you come to a standstill in whatever you're doing, your business or your career. It's just a standstill point. But importantly for you to notice, while you're at that standstill point, ensure that you're sharpening your your battle axe. You're sharpening your tools that is required to stay afloat. Now, most businesses and careers plateau because they resist change. Right? You see this image here that we have of this man facing different exit points. If only this man can just turn back, right? If you just turn around, the image of this person, if you could just turn around and move backwards, you find out that he can be able to exit out of here, right? So your perspective, your perception, permit me to say, your perception is what really matters a lot of time, how you see things. If you flip the number 6 upside down, it gives you 9, right? So a lot of times, all you know is not all that there is to know. Now, no new leads, sales plateau, and disengagement at work could be one of the reasons why you feel stagnated. Yes, feel free. We're going to be looking at all of this and addressing it in this session. Come along. Now, the symptoms of stagnations are very easy. I broke them down into 4, which is 1, repeating tasks with no new result, a loss of enthusiasm, a declining performance, and missing out on market trends. I'd like to take one, which is the loss of enthusiasm. So you don't have enthusiasm to wanting to show up every day. Yeah, some things could be responsible for that, right? Could be what you hear, what you see, what you feed basically to your mind. Could be what could be responsible for how you feel. I like for you to know that you're not alone. A lot of people actually go through this point. You're not alone. So I like to encourage you to come out of this, look beyond your current state and focus on the why you started this journey in the first place, so that you realize that yes, you're on a journey, you're on a process to getting better, you're on a process to becoming 1% better every day. So I'd like for you to have a self-reflection and ask yourself intentionally, which of this feels familiar to you? Now, importantly, all of what we speak to basically is around your mind shift. A mind paradigm shift is what you need to stay constantly evolving. What differentiates you from the 1% of people is mindset. What will make you stand out, how you see and perceive things is what will make you stand out. When people look at you, why are you different? Why are you different? It's your mindset. It's because you're responsible for what you allow stay in your mind. All right, you're responsible. It's a responsibility is on you for you to repel to something that is not in alignment with your core values, something that are not in alignment with the goal, the end goal that you are headed towards. You have the right to say no to a lot of things. You can't settle for everything, else you will be destinationless. Permit me to use that word. Now I wrote here, I said growth starts with mindset before tactics, right? So, what comfort zone do you need to step out of today? Ask yourself that question. You need to step out of that comfort zone for you to see the next level. For every next level that you require to come into, there is a next level battle that you need to surmount. All right. So now, importantly, is for us to look at the Evolve framework. The Evolve framework, I broke it down into 6, where I spoke to E, which stands for evaluate where you are. Importantly, currently do a deep reflection. Where I am currently, where's my current state? We need to develop this. I want you to sit down and put together this blueprint. Where I am currently, is it where am I supposed to be? Right? Visualize where you want to be. Right? This will help you with the V. Ensure you visualize where you want to be. You want to drive that next big car. You want to become, you want to move from the millions to into the billions. You want to move from the billions to the trillion. Visualize where you want to be. Right? Don't have a small dream, have a very big dream, but ensure that you're able to track it. Okay, moving on to the O, which says outline your strategy, right? You need to outline your strategy. Else, if you don't have it outlined, right, you tend to settle for everything that looks like your strategy. Okay, which now automatically drives you into a stagnation process. You begin to start feeling and doubting all every other thing you've already written out. Right, outline the strategy. It's important that your strategy is even written in pen and paper. Write it down in pen and paper so you're able to always go back to it, right? Next is the learn. That's the L, which stands for learn, unlearn, and relearn, right? If you don't want to feel stagnated, ensure that you don't have a barricaded mind by saying that, oh, all that I know is all that there is to know. You're wrong. You're very wrong. You have to have a mind of a child, have a mind of a child when it comes to stuff. Because take for instance, TikTok wasn't a thing 3 years ago. It wasn't really big of a thing. But today you have social commerce where TikTok has finally become a thing that you must adapt to your business if you want to ensure that you stay on the lips of some certain class of your target audience, right? You find them on TikTok, so why shouldn't you be there? Now, validate your progress. You have to ensure that you're able to track your progress and be very factual with yourself. Am I making progress, or am I just faffing or mixing up activity for productivity? Lastly, which is my favorite part, which is execute relentlessly. Please, I can't overemphasize on the fact that you have to ensure that you execute like a ninja. You don't stop. Nothing stops you until you get to your destined point. It is something that should wake you up every day. What am I executing on? What's that 1% needle that I need to move to ensure that I get to my destined point? Now, practical growth strategies for your business. I wrote here, we have you have to measure what matters, that you have to make data-driven decisions. You have to ensure that you inculcate what I call the Pareto principle. It's what is that 20% of thing you need to do to give you 80% outcome? What meetings do you need to sit into that will overall yield into getting the cash in the bank, right? Do that. Ensure that you do that. Now, build omni-channel presence. Yeah, you have to ensure that you build channels that are necessary for your business, right? You want to do maybe you want to do affiliate marketing, you want to do social media marketing, you want to do SEO, you want to just ensure that you have omni-channel presence so that when people are searching for your brand, your business, your career, they are seeing you on the flick, they are seeing you on the top 1 to 5. Adopt automation and AI too. You cannot function in this era and generation without enabling and adapting AI to whatever you are doing. Else you'll be left alone, you become obsolete, right? That's how you stay stagnated. If you don't evolve, AI will crunch you. I was in a session last month that's called LinkedIn Local, where I was a speaker at it, and I spoke on how AI is beneficial for both businesses, maximizing career prosperity. That was a team, right? And I said, AI, people that use AI will be the people that will come for your business, that will come for your job. People using AI today are the people that are your real competitors. Your real competitors are not the people not using AI. The real competitors are the people that are using AI. They will surmount you, they will take over your climb and your niche. So ensure that you have a business that is very adaptive and responsive to artificial intelligence. Now focus on customer experience. How do I mean? Ensure that the service delivery, the experience your customers are getting from your product are even worth more than the price of that product. I'll move on to saying practical growth strategies for your career. You have to ensure that you're investing in relevant skills like AI literacy, communication. You also have to ensure that you seek mentorship. If you find myself of importance that you want to seek some level of mentorship from me, what I do, I'll encourage you to participate in all of our webinar sessions where we'll be sharing in-depth analysis of some of the things that may hinder you from growing. You can actually seek mentorship from people that you know you've actually been in the same room where they cross-shared values that are in line with your own value. You can seek out, reach out to them to say, oh, I want you to become my mentor in this particular aspect of my life. Grow your network. As you can use LinkedIn, you can attend industry events. Just ensure that you are growing and not stagnated. Build visibility. You will want to be a thought leader on a particular topic. Please ensure that you're sharing your voice. You're sharing what you're about, so that the algorithm will favor you. All right, so I have a case study here before and after. There's a guy that while prepping for this particular session, there's a guy that came to mind. His story is very inspirational. His name is Ben Francis. Is the founder CEO of Gymshark. Now, Gymshark is a UK brand that was created by this man in 2019. Right, he started this company out of nothing. Right, a problem came to him that he couldn't find a gym where that was very fit and exact his size. So he decided to, I could actually, why don't I just create something? He created something out of what you call nothing. So this is a story, right, where he didn't see all of the problems around him as something that would stop him from inventing this. At 19 years old, he started making his own clothes, sewing the shirt and the hoodies by hand in his father's garage. All right. At the same time, he worked at a Pizza Hut to make some money. Right. So don't quit that job of yours yet until you ensure that the vision is very, very clear. You've actually saved up enough money that will last you for about 6 months even without salary, you can actually do that. So ensure that there is some level of inflow before you make that next leap of saying, oh, I want to stop. If you have the capacity to manage both your 9 to 5 and running a business simultaneously, why not? If not, so please consider that, right? You see here why I highlighted it. He didn't just stop at making the shirt and the hoodies. He went as far as even combining working in to raise capital to build his website for his brand, which he called the Gymshark, right? Now, moving on, he was building and making these clothes himself at first and delivering them by himself. But he realized, oh, the power of skill will not favor me if I continue doing this myself. So he had to step down aside. That is just his 19-year-old of thinking. So he had to step down. Now realize that he didn't have the capacity, the mental capacity, or to take the company to the next level. He stepped aside for somebody else to lead the company while he went to learn ways, that he went back to school to learn ways to run the company confidently as a CEO. After that, when he came back, he now was able to move the company to billionaire state. So yes, that's why his story is very inspirational. He did not stop just there. He went, he evolved, and he grew. He learned, unlearned, and relearned. So that's why his story is actually very, very interesting and inspirational. So I like to inspire you. That level that you are is not all that there is. You're actually on a journey. Right. So now the action plan for the next 30 days. Now the first of it is you have to identify what quick wins that you need to do instantly that will make you move a quantum leap, right? What are the instant? Identify those quick wins. Now you review your progress weekly and ensure that you review progress. It's important that you review your progress. Am I in line with my vision for the year? What did I say that I will do today that I'm going to do? What did I say this week that I'm going to do that I'm doing? If I'm not doing it, what is making me not do it? How do I go around? Take, for instance, Mr. Ben, and you looked at, oh, I don't have a shop yet. Yes, I could start from my father's garage. Commit to doing daily tasks, daily actions. Ensure you're committed to doing daily actions. Why? If you're not committed to doing, you find yourself stagnated because why? You're not moving the needle bit by bit. Ensure you're moving the needle, making progress, right? If you think execution is expensive, if you think evolving is expensive, wait until you're handed over the bill of staying stagnated, and then you know. So I want you to write down your first 3 actions that you will start doing today. All right. So now these are some of the tools and resources that you need to continuously stay evolving. One here is the AI tools. I wrote ChatGPT, you have Canva, you have Jasper. Productivity, you have Trello, Notion, Google Calendar. And there is for learning, there's Coursera, there's Udemy, there's LinkedIn Learning. Please feel free to share in the comment section what tools you want to be using personally. Okay, right. So we're at the question and answer. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop in the comment section. I'll be super glad to attend to you. All right, so we've come to the end of today's session. And thank you so very much for joining. I really, really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't take it for granted. I like to see you. I like firstly for you to subscribe to your channel. It is at I am Kenan Global, one word. I like for you to subscribe so that you could get to see notification from us each time we drop a video or we'll go live in our next session. Our next session will be on the 1st of May. It's a public holiday like today, and we'll be speaking to the topic called Art of Business. Guys, it is called, one of my mentors says something, it is called business for a problem, sorry, it is called business for a reason. Business for a reason because it is busyness. You have to be busy. But importantly, do not confuse activity for productivity, else you'll just be moving around the circle without any result. All right? A favorite quote from Simon Sinek: always ensure you start with the why. It helps you stay afloat and evolving. God bless you. Namaste. Thank you. Nagode. Wese. And I look forward to seeing you on the 1st of May, same time next month. Bye bye.